Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chess and welcome back to Racer or Random SCP Review. Previously, in part 1, we discussed about SCP-4906, right? Also, I'm here back at this list again. The reason why I'm here is because, as you can see over here, this is our SCP, right? 4906, which is on the 6th month Gale. But actually, take a look down here. This is SCP-4909, which is the Octopus Garden. Um, which we already did, in fact, and it was about also an area, I believe, in which there is also some kind of an octopus, I guess. And yeah, like basically, if you go here, then you cannot go out, basically. Also, this will be, in fact, this will be our closest SCP that we have reviewed so far, because it only apart by 3 entries, right? There is this SCP-4906, which we will continue after this, and then this one 4909, which we already covered in the I believe it was episode 6 or 7. I kind of forgot already. Either 7 or 8. Like, it's been a while ago, right? So yeah, it's kind of interesting that we got an SCP that is close to each other, like this, right? Like, what are the odds, honestly? But yeah, anyway, we will continue to this one for 906 on the 6th month Gale. Also, so far, I mean, previously, I talk like how I dislike this SCP, right? So, for that, I apologize if I kind of offend someone. Like if I offended someone in the previous one, I didn't mean to offend anyone. I mean, like, um, like this is not my expertise, right? So I have no background about history, about like all this kind of war, politics and kind of stuff. That's not my expertise. Therefore, I kind of try to understand things that I at least know something about, right? That's why I kind of dislike this as well. And also, I said about the number being, like illogical or something like that. I guess. I mean, yeah, like yeah. For that, I also apologize. I mean, for some reason, I mean, for some people, the number might be okay, might be make sense, or even not as big as they thought. Um, but I guess it's just because I'm used to I got to used to something small, right? Therefore, like knowing this kind of big stuff, then I like never imagined that this can actually happen, right? Or exist in the first place. Not that it ever existed, but it's still something, right? um, Using your imaginations, I guess. But okay, so apart from that, I guess we can continue for part 2. um, Previously we talked about, I believe it was another alpha. um, Wait, actually, no, this one was not. Sar Bombay, yeah, here we go. This is beta, actually. Yeah, this was alpha the last time we actually talk, I guess. Now it is beta again, which is from the south to north, as well as losses in. What was beta again? Beta was a loss in, I believe, in the US, right? The first one will be the alpha will be the loss in the Soviet, and then the beta will be a loss in the US. Okay, so for context, 4906 is basically an area where there is called, well, not really, yeah, like I mean, it is some kind of region in the I would say a little bit towards the, close to either Pacific Ocean or Arctic Ocean or something like that. It is in, like to the north of Philippines, and then around the east or southern east of Russia, or even near Japan, right? So it's there, the location. And then there's also an entity over there, which is 4906 Omicron, which is a whale that for some reason it also has wings that are just as big as its body. and then it can fly upwards as well as dive in, right, into the sea basically. Also, there is also like some kind of magnetic, what is it called again, like a pole, I think, that can that has magnetic flux, right, at the north and then the south as well. So we call that 4906 north and then 4906 south basically. So there is these two poles that gives all the magnetic flux, magnetic field basically, right. And then there's also the creature as well. As to what this author, or the writer of this SCP trying to say, I'm still not sure, right? Why the Omicron is connected to the histories in the past, right? So I'm still not sure what the author is trying to say here. Maybe you guys kind of know already what it's about, but English is not my first language, therefore there is an English gap, right? There's like a meaning gap where I probably don't understand what it's written over here. But yeah, anyway, let's continue. This is beta, another loss, I guess, another event. And this one was description: Foundation Satellite 77 recorded this event. Lost date September 1st, 83. Lost will be Foundation asset Larry McDonald. Okay, that's also another footnote. Was killed in the KAL 007 disaster. Casualties: one Foundation casualty, 298 non-Foundation casualties. That's a lot, but it's not as much as many as previously, right? But still a loss. Um, Notes and documents: KAL 007 and its crew exhibited intense symptoms of magnetic interference prior to the disaster. This is okay, so that's about it then. Okay, so that's the loss or the description basically. Basically this the person, I guess, the KAL 007. I think that's some kind of ship, battleship probably. I'm not sure, or even airplane. I don't know. But yeah, and the crew exhibited intense symptoms of magnetic interference. I'm guessing this had to do with north and south, right? With 4906 north or 4906 south, basically, because we know that this thing, whatever it is, it creates magnetic field which is about 63 to 93,000 times stronger than Earth's magnetic field, right? So yeah, there's that. Don't ask me about the number or logical sense behind this. Like I said as well in the beginning, I apologize for that if I offended someone. But if you ask about how illogical this can be, do not ask me, ask the writer itself, right? There is actually a discussion section in each of this page. Then like if you want to know why it is that big, then ask the author yourself, right? But yeah, anyway, there is that, I guess. Yeah, because it you know emits a strong magnetic field or flux. Therefore, like I said as well in the previous video, it kind of messed up with the electronics as well, right? Probably it messed up with their navigation system, and then they lost control, and then like um, maybe this, whatever this is, either ships or boats or airplanes or something like that, it then ceased malfunction, right? It became malfunction, and then like therefore the losses over here with all these casualties, right? But yeah, anyway, now we go to another one, which is alpha. So the event between alpha and beta always changed, like continuously, right? So the Omicron moves from north to south, and then moves to south to north, and so on, right? So, along with this travel, I guess, there is also disaster that happened somewhere else. Well, not really somewhere else, but more like it's either US or Soviet, right? And that's about it. Um, why? Well, if you ask why again, ask the author. Don't ask me, right? I'm just trying to understand as well. Because yeah, there's that. The next will be Alpha Interrupted, September 25th, 83. So this is just few months after, right? Oh, actually, it's only few days. Only 24 days later. That's about 3 weeks, which is not that long of a gap, right? From the first event, from one event to another event, basically. Um, Next will be description. The reconstructed Site-4906 activated. Omicron went into transformation but failed to take off. Containment was declared successful. Oh, I see. Because we know that this one, the Soviet tested Tsar Bomba, right? But it destroyed the Site-4906. Um, and then killed so many of the foundation personnel, basically, right? So the O5 ordered to rebuild those sites back, which is site for 906, so that they can continue with the yeah, like with the, I guess, with the containment, like, I guess, like containment, what is it called, like, um what is it called again, like containment protocol, basically, right? So yeah, and it apparently it succeeded. And this one, after the reconstructed, Omicron was about to transform, right? Already transformed, and it was ready to fly, basically, right? Probably from the south to north, because this is beta. It means it travels to south to north, right? But before it actually took off, the you know the protocol that Site 4906 did actually went successful. We also know up here in the containment procedure, I believe, it mentioned that the this one Turkey shooters, right, refers the polarity of 4906 solenoid, basically. So they kind of like make like they try to force the other, right? Like if preventing even what is this, alpha, right? Yeah, alpha. So like basically if alpha was about to happen, they quickly reverse the polarity so that it triggered the event beta, right? But the thing is that event beta only occur when they are at the south. Therefore, when the Omicron is at north, then it didn't happen, right? I think that's what happened here. Um, and then this one was about alpha as well, right? I think. Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, yeah, this one was alpha again, right? So yeah, it was about to transform alpha, from north to south. I think I kind of miss um, saying this. It was supposed to be alpha, not beta. So yeah, it was from north to south, right? It's about to take off, but it got interrupted because I think MTF succeed in reversing the polarity, right? But yeah, lost did nothing, and then lost also nothing. So yeah, here we go. Notes and documents. Incident report 4906, Alpha 1983, which was this one, right? I guess this is what yeah, like this. I guess the procedure for preventing the Omicron to take off and like caused losses in the Soviet, right? But yeah, date September 25th, 1983. So that is basically the day, right? The D-Day. Site 4906, Moscow Standard Time, GMT plus 3. Site 4906, solenoid begins initial self-testing. Um, Solenoid completes initial self-testing. Power input set to 500,000 watts. That's a lot of power. Cyclone forms around north with wind speed 30 kilometers. That is about 20 miles per hour. Power input set to 750,000 watts. Okay, so they increased the output. Cyclone wind speed increased to 44 kilometers per hour. That is about 30 miles per hour. Power input set power input set to 1.5 megawatt. So that's doubled again, right? And then of course the cyclone also got doubled. Um, Speed increased to 88 kilometers, so that's about 60 miles per hour. And then power input set to 20 megawatt. That is almost 15 times, I guess, like 13, 14 times, right? Cyclone wind speed increased to 132 kilometers. That is about just under 100 miles per hour. Event 4906 alpha warning issued. 4906 north magnetic flux density drops to 1.9 teslas. Overall magnetic flux density at almost 3 teslas. Okay, so it drops by a third, right? Omicron transformation begins. Magnetic flux density drops to 1.7. Overall magnetic flux density at 2.8, and then Omicron now in falcon shape, so it's about to take off, right? And then this is the next day, because it's nighttime, right? It's almost midnight. North magnetic flux density drops to 1.2 teslas. Omicron completed transformation. Oh, I see. Okay, so I think what happened here is that this magnetic power, this magnetic flux from the north and the south pole, quote unquote pole of this SCP, it basically powers up the Omicron, right? That's why, as you can see over here, as the Omicron transforms, it kind of sucks, I guess, or like obtains its powers from the magnetic flux that these north and south magnetic um, like emits, right? Basically, the thing is powered based on magnetic field or magnetic flux. Okay, so after that, 15 minutes late for takeoff. Soviet Oko nuclear attack warning intercepted by 4906. So yeah, it's ready. It's already completed the transformation, but the thing is, Omicron. After 15 minutes, it's already too late, and it didn't take off, right? And then north magnetic flux density increases to 1.3 teslas, and then Omicron begins reverse transformation. Okay, so it's not about to transform, right? Um, After that, magnetic flux density now normal, which is about 1.9 something, right? XXX Omicron reverse transformation complete. Containment declared successful. The Soviet nuclear warning was resolved as a false alarm. Okay, so yeah, there's that basically. Like the when the Omicron starts to, I guess, getting its power from this magnetic flux from either pole, like either north or south, then what the SAP Foundation can do is basically just reverse the polarity, right? So that I guess, so that the magnetic flux kind of dropped, and then that the Omicron cannot get any more power, right? Because it's already too low of Tesla, right? Therefore, yeah, like basically it already transformed, but maybe it's kind of cannot proceed to take off if it doesn't have enough or sufficient magnetic flux, right? So maybe that's the case as well. But anyway, it is complete now. We read the addendum for 906, I guess. Selected quote from the Zhuangzi 300 before century, believed to be describing SCP-4906 Omicron. In the North Sea, there is a fish named Kun. The Kun's body, was massive. Who knows how many thousands of miles its length is? Well, it was 70,000 meters. That's 70 kilometers. That's only about divided by 1.5. That's about almost 40, I think. No, that's about 50, I think. Almost 50 miles away, right? Not thousands, but alright. It can transform into a great bird, which is named Pang. The Pang's back was expansive. Who knows how many thousands of miles its width is? When it flew to the heavens, its wings were as great as the clouds hanging in the sky. That bird we spoke of will that bird we spoke of will be able to migrate to the South Sea when the seas begin to rouse. Where is the South Sea? It is the heavenly lake. Okay, excuse me one second. There is a book named Universal Harmony. which recorded all the fantastical things in the world. It has such a passage. The Pang migrated to the South Sea. Its wings stroke waves 3,000 miles wide. With those wings, it rose to 90,000 miles high, riding on the 6-month Gale. And that's about it, I guess. Oh, okay. So, I think I guess this is what it's all about, right? Because there is a quote from the Zhuangzi, right? I think that's probably what the author got the reference from, right? Maybe there's this real life thing, right? About someone actually mentioning that there is a fish that can transform into a bird and that it can, like rise high up in the sky, right? With its majestic being, like the majestic wings, right? That beak of wings that can carry itself to the sky high, right? Um, and yeah, I think that's probably where the main reference is from. And then maybe like like the author probably just gonna like just basically, because this says that the bird travels from the south to the north and then from the north to the south sea over here, then like basically it travels back and forth, right? And then to make it interesting, probably the author kind of inserts like incidents or accidents that happened in the past, right? From the north to the south, from the south to the north, and it includes from the US as well as the Russia, right, or the Soviet Union, basically. So yeah, there's that, I guess, which is again interesting. But this is, like in all honest, this is not probably not my favorite SCP as well. This is probably the same as SCP-9, or not 9, but more like the ninth entry, not ninth. I think it was. Yeah, I think yeah, it was actually ninth entry. Where we actually talk about. Um, I kind of forgot what the SCP was already. Oh, I think it was the Athena one, right? The one that can summon, or the ritual that can summon deity, right? Which was again like I kind of don't understand how that works as well, right? So yeah, I guess not my favorite SCP, but I still like it. Also, there's this footnotes over here. A level 3 researcher objected to the validity of this relationship, claiming is a creature the ancient Chinese called Pang, okay, which is the addendum which we already called, right? Or read over here. I mean, to cover position, Commissioner of State, Security Third Class, okay, the Battle of Lake Khasan and the Battles of Kalkin Goal were direct consequences of his defection. Cover position, and lots of cover positions. Okay, so I guess there's that. But yeah, overall, again, on the 6-month scale, not really my favorite SCP. Still an SCP, a great SCP, I guess. It's based on this one over here, a Chinese folklore, basically, right? About a creature or a fish that can transform from fish into bird and then travels from north to north to south, and then from south to north as well. And that's about it, I guess. But yeah, anyway, this has been Racer Random SCP Review entry number 15, if I remember correctly. Um, Part 2 as well, and the next one will be episode 16 then. And who knows what SCP we will discuss later. Hopefully it is something that I can understand, like something simple, short yet elegant, or it can also be long, but it must have something engaging to be read, right? Like basically, like if it's long, make sure that you can make the reader try to want more, right? Want to read even more of this, right? Like lots of phrasing, lots of questions that later has the answers as well, right? Through addendums and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Racer episode 15. I will see you again next week, I think, in the next episode of Racer. Stay safe, stay healthy. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you again very soon, and see ya.